Hello and welcome to the Great Day Out. Lovers of locally produced food will know all about Eat Local Week, that fabulous festival of incredible edibles that happens every year here in the Scenic Rim. Well, good news for gourmets and gourmands. Now you can eat local every week in this most beautiful part of Queensland. I will tell you how later in the show. In the meantime, Laurel checks out some of Brisbane's best creative hubs.
With the louder bands, do you find you've got to touch up the paint where it peels off the walls, or they keep it to a minimum?
They do a very good job of keeping it to a minimum, but they take in a lot of coffee.
And we'll show you around Brisbane's newest night market, where you get dinner and a show.
Rofi's barbecue ribs.
Come and get them. But first, here's Jess.
Here it comes, right on time. The G-Link, the most convenient way to get up and down the Gold Coast. And today, it's our ride for an incredible culinary experience. Let the adventure begin.
With Gold Coast food and wine tours, everything is taken care of. Like your G-Link pass, valid all night.
So many people haven't actually tried the G-Link yet, and this gives them an opportunity to get out, get around and see how easy it is to get on and off.
Karen Inglis-Turner has designed a progressive dinner experience that covers the coast and sees us visiting its culinary hidden gems.
Cheers! Cheers!
To whining and dining.
Absolutely.
I'll cheers to that any day.
Our first stop is Clifford's Grill and Lounge. Here, guests on Karen's tour enjoy a very special treat, a chef-guided tour of the kitchen.
I've eaten plenty of arancini balls in my time, but I've never made one, so this is quite fascinating.
That's not all that's on the menu. Our tapas platters boast squid, beef cheeks, New York-style chicken wings, and the pièce de résistance, pork belly.
The food here is sensational, and a lot of people just don't know that Clifford has this amazing food, and I found it and I thought this is something I've got to let people know about.
We have an hour to dine before the G-Link whisks us away.
It's great to travel on the G-Link, but this isn't the only way you take people on tours.
We also run walking tours where we take guests around Broadbeach, show them all the hidden gems, Burleigh Heads, Surfers Paradise, and we also do one up at Tambourine Mountain, which is all about food and wine and local producers.
Can't wait to try that, but not before our second stop at Yamigan in the QT Hotel. Famous for its Japanese cuisine and cutting-edge cocktails.
Whew, that's strong.
Under the tutelage of Magic, the bar manager, Karen's guests help create their signature cocktail.
How does it taste like?
Oh my goodness, it's to die for.
That's a
So good. Can I?
But this is only the warm-up.
Just upstairs from Yamigan is Bazaar. It's like a traditional marketplace, but with a twist.
Slow-roasted meats, colourful salads, incredible seafood, Asian cuisine. This has to be the best spread on the Gold Coast.
This place is insane. It's like a sensory overload. So what is the twist?
The twist is it's an interactive marketplace. You can go up to a station and one of the chefs there who specialises in that food will produce the most delicious meal just for you, to your specifications.
The head chef even pays our table a visit, thanks to Karen. She certainly knows how to make us foodies feel welcome.
I love the vibe. It doesn't feel like you're on a tour. It just feels like you're hanging out with food experts, just having a cracking night out. Yeah.
Our final destination requires another ride on the G-Link, a walk through Broadbeach, and the lobby of the Sofitel Hotel.
They're almost too pretty to drink, aren't they? Who's up first?
Room 81 oozes chic ambience, and its modern Australian menu is award-winning. Our visit begins with lychee rose martinis with a splash of liquid nitrogen, and the chef's signature lemon lima bitters dessert.
It's been a really fun day. It's so nice to just, explore what we have, because we just, living here, we take it for granted, and there are so many awesome places on the Gold Coast that we've just never been to.
Well, cheers to good food, good wine, and great friendship.
Cheers to you, beautiful.
Book now for Karen's next Gold Coast food and wine tour. Head to our website for all the contact details.
The Scenic Rim is filled to the brim with farmers and artisan food producers. We're talking a cornucopia of homegrown comestibles, cracking good wine and country accommodation. all in one compact region, an hour from Brisbane. But how do you find them? It's easy, thanks to the Eat Local Scenic Rim. Look out for this logo, which identifies more than 50 accredited locavores, authentic producers like David McMaugh and Bunjurgan Estate Vineyard. David, I've tasted your wines before and your fortifieds, but you're doing a couple of sort of non-alcoholic lines.
We do, Al. We do a Chambourcin grape juice.
Yes.
Now, this has no preservatives, so it's no sulphur, no sorbates, and it's pasteurised and vacuum packed. The colour's fantastic.
Isn't it just?
It's the absolute violet hue that really gives that away. And it makes a great spritzer with a little sparkling mineral water.
Well, that's a lovely balance, isn't it? Nice and effervescent. My normal golf swing would be to go for this fella, but that's really refreshing.
And a little vodka and ice.
For something bolder, how about a pink twist on that pantry staple, verjuice? I mean, I would use this mostly for cooking, of course. Yeah, that's lovely.
Again, slice of lime, some ice, and if you did want to add gin, vodka, tequila, there's that avenue as well.
No, you wouldn't be offended if I didn't do any cooking with this and just used it for the latter, would you?
Not at all.
Thank you very much indeed. I love it.
It seems only right that a city filled with creative people is filled with creative spaces, festivals and events. Lucky for us here in Brisbane, there is no shortage of spots for artists to unleash their creative spirits. The Sunnybank Performing Arts Centre, or Sunpack, as it's fondly known, brings together all forms of performing art. Jessie, this place has such a vibe today. What's going on here at Sunpack?
Today we've got rehearsals for Firestorm, which is a show that's part of the Brisasia Festival for 2019. So Brisasia Festival is an initiative by Brisbane City Council. So we've got one of their rehearsals happening here today. They're doing their tech, and it's a multicultural fusion of different instruments, fabulous performers that are coming together on our stage here at Sunnybank. Sunpack is a multi-purpose venue, so we have everything from performances all the way through to events and conferences. We even have a wedding that just called through and booked for Sunday. So we have all sorts of different things happening here because we're very much a community hub.
The Brisbane Powerhouse is another great Brisbane City Council hub for the community to engage with art and culture. Across the river in Seven Hills, it's the old TAFE College that's received a new lease on life, swapping educating for entertaining. The venue is available for hire for performers, artists and the community to put on their own events. As well as performance venues, there are council spaces giving creatives the opportunity to foster their art form. Wow, so much colour. I'm feeling creative already. Visible Inc. is a free youth hub in Fortitude Valley that supports our city's young people from 12 to 25 years of age. As well as being a meeting place to connect with like-minded people, there are a range of facilities available free of charge. There's everything from a 3D printer, a dance studio, an art space with a badge maker, a rehearsal room.
She looked again. It's probably because I'm sweating so much. It's really hot in here.
You look
Do we have the aircon on? I think we should turn the aircon on.
It's on. It's not hot.
I think we should turn it on. We'll turn it on.
There's even a recording studio.
Oh, baby, will you be my one and only girl?
From Wednesdays through to Saturdays, musicians like Mufaro can book the studio.
Visible Inc. is awesome, not just for like musicians, but you know, dancers, theatre companies, all kind of youth initiatives happen here. And it's awesome in the fact that it's essentially free. And it's easier because, you know, you take that money aspect and that out of it, you kind of have that opportunity to come in with no pressure because you're not thinking, okay.
We're paying every hour.
You're paying every, yeah. For me, myself, just having like this all available to me is just, it's a brilliant opportunity to get so much done.
So the creative juices just flow.
Honestly, they do.
Last year, Mufaro and his band, The Bear House, took part in the Cube Effect, an initiative designed to give young musicians exposure to the music industry.
We were fortunate enough to be the People's Choice, so we got the People's Choice Award. With that came a $2,000 grant and a performance slot at Jungle Love Festival last year as well. So for me, it was kind of cool because it was my first time attending a festival, let alone performing at one. So it was a really good opportunity. And with the grant money, we actually used it to fund a tour down to Melbourne. So yeah.
Fantastic. What, you didn't just blow it on a big party?
No, as much as the drummer wanted to. You know drummers.
You're more sensible. Catch Cube Effect performances as part of Brisbane's upcoming Youth Week from the 3rd to the 14th of April. There will be live events, workshops, activities and forums dotted around Brisbane. It's just one of thousands of events, festivals and markets Brisbane City Council helps deliver each year. Visit their website and search More to See and Do for plenty of other great ideas.
G'day, how are you tonight? Ready for another big night? This is Friday night at the Brisbane Market. We're on Sherwood Road at Rocklea, Brisbane's only undercover market space. There's definitely a need for something like this on the south side of Brisbane. We've got over 40 different food vendors. We've got entree, main, dessert, in any type of way or fashion you could possibly imagine it. You can grab a drink, you can grab a bite to eat, meet up with friends. It's a really great atmosphere. You can see everything being made, speak to the vendors. They're preparing everything on the spot. It's as fresh as can be, and we're all about fresh at the Brisbane Market.
Get your barbecue ribs here. My name's Gary Bropey and my sister's a cook here. I'm only the entertainer. I spin the lassos, drag everybody in, and our family love barbecues. Get a load of this. This is unbelievable. We smoke them for 8 hours and then we barbecue them, and they are delicious. This is my sister Kim. She's good with a knife, she's good with the barbecue. She used to be a knife thrower as well, so if anybody complains about the food, blame her. Hey, you want some barbecue ribs?
Hello guys, how are we doing? Here's the mixed mushroom paella. So I'm Samba, I'm a Brazilian chef. I've been in Australia for over 11 years and it came with the idea of opening a food truck. And we do like Spanish food and we do some Brazilian food as well. I think the last few years I could see increasing like the popularity of like a good food. Do not taste for good food. And this is great because like there is so much to offer. This venue is a really good one. I think with the flow they created here. So we'll be here singing, dancing, making and play with you. So it's all about the experience as well, not just the food. Thank you very much.
Woo! Well, it's good because that witching hour from like 4 p.m. till 7 p.m, there's never anything to do. So we were just going, it actually gives us something to do, get out of the house. And it's cheap and cheerful, but it's really good food.
I'm Sarah and this is Jessie and we run Sarah's Gourmet Creations. Our recipe has been in the family for generations now. I make about 50 flavours that I rotate weekly. I think I have usually about 50 to 100 kilos of sugar every week that I go through.
Thank you.
I've got my popular flavours. I've got passion fruit, salted caramel, which I usually keep on. People seem to absolutely love those ones. I'm pretty grateful that, you know, my grandparents did have such an amazing recipe, and to find a good fudge is pretty rare, so I think I've got it down packed now.
Aside from the food stalls, we've got tons of other things to choose from. There's clothing, there's artisans, there's arts and crafts. We've got over 700 parking spaces within 100 metres of the entrance. We've put a lot of work in to get this site ready, and the way that it's come together, we couldn't be prouder.
Local Scenic Rim is a roadmap for the region's best culinary experiences. From farm paddocks to peaceful country towns, there's a delicious experience around every bend. And this logo is your guarantee of genuine, locally made goodies. At Scenic Rim Brewery, beer is a major food group, and the master craftsman behind these tasty brews, the affable Mike Webster.
I was a builder all my life, but I had an insatiable thirst as well. Started brewing in the shed, and yeah, it grew and grew, the passion grew, and stopped building and started brewing.
It seems to me that it's important to you that there's a story here.
Got to be a story. There's more to beer than just drinking alcohol, and that's what it's all about. Shaz is a mid-strength pale ale. If you're interested in middies, that's the driving beer.
Yep.
Diggers is a full-strength pale. I've got a picture of the guy up there behind me that's it's taken of. It's a character of my dad who served in the war.
What is this beer and what is this contraption?
It's called a stirrup glass.
Can I try this?
Oh, please do. It dates back to the Napoleon days. The coach driver used to take his customers to the tavern. He wasn't allowed to leave the coach, so he'd be up on his seat and someone would bring him out a stirrup glass. It would be much longer. You'd put it into the step, which is also known as a stirrup, to get up on the seat, and there he'd sit there and enjoy his beer.
No, this last one here, I don't know if we can say this on the Great Day Out.
Well, everybody knows his cousin, Farlap. This is his distant cousin. He's still known around the racetracks, but his name's normally muttered for losing rather than winning.
This colourfully named brew is fashioned on the dark, sweet beer made by Belgian monks in cloistered abbeys. I can only wonder what the Trappist monks would think about the name that you have for your abbey ale, sir.
I've probably given a bit of time to say a prayer or two.
Dave has a wicked sense of humour, but clearly loves the old ways. His brewery is housed in a century-old general store. It retains the original timber counter and ceiling-high shelves. Nowadays stocked with Eat Local goodies from artisan producers across the Scenic Rim.
Hi guys, Kaz from Corimba Gully, here to restock. How we doing?
Speak of the devil, Kaz Osborne is the joyous maker of these gorgeous condiments, some of which are a creative collaboration.
With Corimba Gully, we use the Scenic Rim beers. I'm sure you'd like that,
Who's
Alistair.
makes beer?
Absolutely. Fat Man's Rib Sauce, if you want to try that one.
Yep.
Marinating of meats, great for brisket. So imagine marinating a brisket for 2 days and then popping it into your smoker. Yum.
Oh, that's dynamite.
Yeah.
Love it, love it. Why is it important to you to be using, product from other passionate people here?
That's one of the great things about living in the Scenic Rim, Alistair, is that we all share our resources. We tell each other if we've got an abundance or the farmers phone me direct. And I go down in there in my wellies and pick it with them, and I love it. And we promote each other. Like I use so many people's produce in mine, and they use it in theirs. So it's, this nice Scenic Rim circle.
Scenic Rim Olives is the next stop on my Eat Local drive. It's owned by Glyn and Barbara Kelly, 2 retired teachers who far prefer rows of olive trees to rows of desks.
So these are manzanillos, they're gorgeous, aren't they?
Oh, I like manzanillos.
Yeah. So these are about, 2 months old now.
Yep.
So they won't be harvested until Easter time.
And how did you guys end up here?
Insanity.
We moved to Brisbane but decided after a few years we weren't really city people. So we started coming for drives out here in the Boonah area and really fell in love with the area. We loved the scenery and I guess the peace and the quiet, the solitude.
I mean, Glenn, there's a real palpable passion there for this.
Yeah, well, there's got to be something to explain the madness. Yeah. I mean, why aren't we retired on the Gold Coast or something like that? So.
Thank goodness is all I can say. Visitors to the farm could enjoy a little of Barb and Glyn's lifestyle here at Grove Cottage. The guest house is tastefully and beautifully furnished, sleeps up to 6 and looks out to serene Scenic Rim mountains and silvery olive trees. I hear you sighing already. Eat Local Scenic Rim makes it easy to find, taste, buy and connect with the authentic food, wine and beer of the Scenic Rim all year round. You'll find the full list of locavores on their website as well as suggested drive itineraries. At Scenic Rim Olives, you can enjoy a dazzling tasting plate of table olives, infused oils, and I gotta say, Kaz's Corimba Gully condiments are the perfect match here. But here is my dilemma as this day comes to an end. Should I have a Scenic Rim beer or a Bunjurgen wine? While I deal with the tyranny of choice, that's your lot. Thanks for joining us. See you next time on The Great Day Out. I've chosen the beer.